Hello everyone. Welcome and thank you for attending our presentation today. This presentation has been pre-recorded, so I'm available to answer any questions that may come up in real time via the chat on the right-hand side. There will also be a period at the end of the presentation for any remaining questions. My name is Rob Scoffner, and I'm the Senior Account Manager for Diverse Global. My father started the company when I was roughly 5 or 6, so I've grown up in the industry and have worked here most of my life, doing everything from production assembly on the floor to ISO internal audits to program management and sales. After getting my bachelor's degree in business management from Grand Valley State University, I moved to Boston, Massachusetts to be the regional sales manager for an international manufacturer. After a few years out east, I made my way back home to begin my current role, which I've been in for over 5 years now. My extensive experience with the company has given me a very well-rounded understanding of our business, the products that we offer, and what makes us unique and competitive. This all helps me better serve our customers as they determine their packaging needs. When we talk about increasing efficiency, we're essentially looking at how to reduce time and costs. In terms of packaging, 3 of the main issues people face are how to move more parts in a shorter amount of time, how to reduce damaged parts, and how to conserve space within your facility. Today we're going to discuss how to remedy these problems through a variety of methods, including eliminating forklifts and utilizing whip racks along with tuggers, AGVs, or mother-daughter carts. In addition, we'll also be discussing how our patented razor rack can help take your optimization to the next level to save you time, space, and most importantly, money. We'll also be showing some case study data from existing customers that shows how they've reduced their damage part rate and have saved tens of millions of dollars by increasing productivity and reducing costs. Before we get into the main point of the presentation, I want to give you a brief overview of Diverse Global as a company and what it is that we do. We are a full-service returnable packaging manufacturer located in Saugatuck, Michigan, which is on the west side near Lake Michigan. We work with a variety of industries, including food service, distribution, and automotive. We do custom design work, prototyping, program management, and manufacturing in a variety of products, including custom dunnage, plastic corrugated products, steel racks, and sewn bag dunnage. We also do a lot with whip racks, sequencing racks, or cubbies, however you refer to them. For those who are unfamiliar, these racks are lightweight, easy to maneuver around the facility, typically used for sub-assembly or work in process components. Like normal finished good racks, they're completely customizable, can be made with a variety of internal dunnage options like sewn bags, pull-out shelves, and drawers, all of which you can see here. Incorporating whip racks is generally one of the first steps you can take to maximize efficiency, as they allow for more parts to be moved around the facility at a given time, increasing your production efficiency. Unlike normal finished good racks, whip racks are typically on wheels, and their design allows them to be hooked together in a train and rolled around your facility by hand, tugger, or AGV. This means that you don't need a forklift to transport them around your facility, and we'll get into the importance of that here shortly. Not only can these carts help with efficiency in the way that you handle your materials, but they can also be made with Class A materials to prevent scratching, as well as ESD materials for those components that are sensitive to static electricity. These materials are also ideal for clean room type environments, as they help to eliminate contamination like dust or fibers from entering the workspace or contaminating the product. This helps reduce damage of in-process parts as they move from one station to the next. In one instance, we helped the customer reduce their scrap rate or rejected part rate from well over 50% down to 10% simply by incorporating this style of rack into their facility. You may be thinking that 10% still sounds a little bit high compared to what you're used to, but they have since been able to reduce that number even further by undertaking some additional quality initiatives. And it's important to remember that that initial drop was immediate and entirely due to the shift in the way that they were packaging their parts. As I mentioned earlier, whip racks help eliminate the need for forklifts in your plant. Many plants want to keep forklifts limited to the shipping and receiving areas and out of the manufacturing areas where there is heavy foot traffic for a variety of reasons. For one, forklifts are dangerous. Some reports show that nearly 35,000 people are injured and 85 die due to forklift-related accidents each year. Aside from the injuries themselves, these accidents come with a slew of additional consequences like costly OSHA fines, workmen's compensation costs, plant downtime, potential legal fees, and reduced employee morale. Forklifts are also expensive. Aside from the purchasing and maintenance costs required to use a forklift, it's estimated that a round trip using a forklift to bring parts to the assembly line costs approximately $9 on average. Rolling whip carts, on the other hand, can be hooked together to move more parts at a given time and with greater flexibility than a forklift. Shifting to a whip cart system with a tugger can cut that number in half to $4.50 per round trip. A good real-world analogy for this that we use a lot is to compare taxis and buses. Forklifts are kind of like taxis. They're more expensive and less efficient because they're bringing one thing to a specific location along a custom route, and then they do the same thing over and over again. On the other hand, tuggers and AGVs are more like buses. They're more affordable and efficient because they move more things along a predetermined route at predetermined intervals. After whip carts and tuggers, the next progression is to incorporate mother-daughter carts. For those unfamiliar with mother-daughter carts, this is an additional way to help improve the efficiency of your plant. In this system, the mother carts are universal and remain connected at all times. They interface with your tuggers, and the daughter carts are interchangeable and what get removed. This type of system has a few benefits to it. First, each daughter cart no longer needs to have towing equipment, like hitches or heavy-duty casters. That equipment is handled by the mother cart, which can carry an array of different daughter configurations. Secondly, the material exchange at the line or stockroom is quicker because operators and material handlers no longer need to connect or disconnect the daughter carts. They simply slide them onto the mother cart and they're off. Thirdly is flexibility. Mother carts are universal and can accommodate a multitude of differing daughter cart configurations. And finally, in the previous costing, where we said a forklift costs roughly $9 per round trip and tuggers cost $4.50, it's estimated that a mother-daughter system can reduce that cost yet again to $2.25 per round trip. Eliminating forklifts and incorporating tuggers, AGVs, or mother-daughter carts into your facility is a great start towards improving efficiency. But what else can be done? How can you make the material handling and manufacturing processes even more efficient? What if you're running into space constraints because you can no longer stack racks with a forklift? Do you increase the size of your plant by either expanding or adding off-site warehouses, or do you make the space that you already have more efficient? Our patented Razor Rack is the next evolution of material handling and is the all-in-one solution to help with both efficiency and space savings.
What do you do when you run out of space? If your facility has maxed out its production or storage capacity, if you don't have the time or budget to build, buy, or lease more space, then now's the time for Razor Rack, the only rack storage system that allows you to increase efficiency with just the touch of a button. Razor Rack increases efficiency by expanding vertically to increase capacity and makes it easier to load and unload products for a more efficient, productive work environment. Razor Rack gives you up to 40% floor space savings and a reduction in rack requirements with up to 60% increase in rack storage density. What do our customers like about the Razor Rack? Razor Rack can be customized with various bag configurations and sizes, colors, materials, footprint sizes, curtains, and various power supply options. We can retrofit your current racks to boast all of Razor Rack's functionality while saving you time, space, and most importantly, money. You can save up to $700 per rack when retrofitting your current rack to become a Razor Rack. With intuitive features like directional casters, foot pedals, hitch and towing mechanisms, and various power supply options, such as built-in batteries, external battery packs, or plug-in options, your production process will run seamlessly in your facility. Increase your facility's capacity without increasing square footage. Choose Razor Rack and make the space you already have work for you.
As you can see, what we've done is taken the design of our previous whip racks and expanded upon it by making the rack move vertically to get you better density. In the previous example we gave of buses and taxis, forklifts and tuggers, the Razor Rack would be equivalent to a double-decker bus, which brings even more parts along your route to help you gain even more efficiencies in your plant than you had previously. What this means for you is that depending on the rack or bag design, we can achieve up to 60% more parts within the same footprint when compared to a standard whip cart that doesn't expand. Another way to think about it is if we were to take all of your existing whip carts and replace them with razor racks, we could achieve the same number of parts in your plant, but do it with 40% less floor space, which gives you more space for things that matter, like additional production lines. This data shows the results of utilizing the razor rack compared with a standard whip cart on just one program that we ran for a customer. By switching to the razor rack, they were able to eliminate 172 racks and 1,121 square feet of floor space for this program alone. This same customer looked at the overall effect of incorporating the razor rack into multiple programs and the savings they have achieved since doing so. They estimate that for every 75 razor racks they purchase, they need 122 standard racks to accommodate the same number of parts. That reduction in racks saves them $151,500 in annual operation expenses by reducing material handling time, labor, warehousing space, and transportation costs. Over the course of a 10-year span, they project that they'll save $2.2 million. They've also calculated that the razor racks have a 5-month ROI when purchased, compared to their typical required 18 to 24-month ROI. Everything about the razor rack is customizable, from the size of the rack itself and the footprint, to the size of the cells, the materials, even the height of the rack can be custom tailored to fit your unique production requirements. If you have sensitive parts, the razor rack can be made with both Class A and ESD materials to help protect them. That includes the bags, curtains, and casters. If you're one of the facilities that has already made the change to rolling whip carts, you may be asking what you're supposed to do with the units you already have. Depending on the design, we may be able to retrofit your existing units. We've done this a few different ways for different customers, but we can potentially reuse the bags and the steel cart frames to save you money. The razor rack comes with various options to accommodate your facility. Options like towing handles and hitches so that they can be pulled around the facility by hand, tugger, or AGV. Foot pedals to help the operator maneuver them at the line. And various power supply options like built-in batteries that stay with the rack, or stationary external power options like you see here. Our base design is made to cube out a semi-truck, giving you more parts per trip and reducing your overall freight costs. For those of you already using mother-daughter carts like we described earlier, the razor rack can also be configured and customized to mate with your existing mother carts. If you recall back to the round trip examples we gave earlier, $9 for a forklift, $4.50 for tuggers, and $2.25 for mother-daughter carts, those numbers don't even account for the additional efficiency and cost savings that you could achieve by incorporating the razor rack. If you calculated the value of a second in your facility, how much money could you save by making your material handlers and operators more efficient and saving them valuable time by moving more parts? In the case study we showed earlier, the savings that one customer is projecting of $2.2 million over a 10-year period speaks for itself. It's important to remember that that's only accounting for 75 racks being purchased, and many plants can easily have 10 to 20 times that many. In the single program I mentioned earlier, this math would save them over $8 million over a 10-year period on one single program. This doesn't even account for the additional savings that can be realized by eliminating forklifts, incorporating mother-daughter carts, or having us retrofit your existing fleet of whip racks. For large-scale manufacturing plants, the savings can very quickly add up to tens of millions of dollars per year. Thank you for joining us for our presentation today. We hope that you found it informative and that you'll be able to better maximize the floor space and efficiencies in your manufacturing processes. You'll find our contact information on the screen, as well as in the link underneath the video at the bottom of the page, which will direct you to our website, where you can learn more about the razor rack and our other various product offerings. We're now going to open it up for a Q&A session to address any outstanding questions that weren't asked during the presentation.